write your goals up there and
Hmm.
write how you're going to get to those goals so you see them every day. They cannot be out of sight. So use all this technology we have to help you along the way with these goals.
Yeah, putting it on a wall, putting it on the whiteboard, and saying this is our goals for the month, for the week, for the day. Um, we are all accountable to achieve it. We all bought into this. We all know we're going to get to 50 cars this month. How are we going to do it? Hello and welcome to the Independent Dealer Podcast, kicking off this 2026 with a bang.
Bang.
Big old bang, buddy.
Man, I'll tell you, 2026, time flies, man.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I am
Yeah.
excited because honestly, 2025,
Yeah.
nothing to write home about. Mm.
I think everybody said that, Jeff. It is tough. The market is definitely different than it has been, and it's different than 2019. Kind of where we go back to what it was prior, and it's just hard. And repos are coming in, and sales are getting slower, and charge-offs are getting bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just happy to break even this year. Got my almost done with my quarterlies for the end of the year, got some projections, and it's like, hey, well, you got any cash you can pay into the business to keep things afloat? So
Well,
we are just
just stop putting all that money in reinsurance, Jeff. Come on now.
yeah, that honestly part of the problem, or I guess maybe part of the solution. But
That's right.
um, so Luke, let's look to 2026. So I hate to say let's make this a goal setting episode because we've done those before and everyone hears this blah 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 blah, and there's no reason to wait till New Year's to set your goals. You should do them constantly, but we're gonna
Well,
do it.
but what's great is a lot of people are going to be listening to this, Jeff, on January 1st,
Hmm.
and they're not at work more than likely, and they
Hopefully.
can sit down and take a few minutes and set up these goals. There's no better time if you hadn't already done it to do it right now. So get out a piece of paper, start writing, um, or take the goals you've already set and start editing them because we may bring up something that you didn't think about and maybe have some more areas that you didn't think about.
Absolutely. So what I want to do is walk through some four basic areas. So we're going to have four little chapters in this book we're going to go through. We're going to talk about our business goals, our physical goals, our social goals, and our spiritual goals, right? We're going to throw that one in there. You probably don't get that in a dealer podcast, huh? Number four, but we're going to do it. So, and Luke mentioned it before. You've got to write these down. They've got to
Yeah.
be in front of you. On your phone's fine. I think a piece of paper on your bathroom mirror is better. Um, Write them down. And what are some other tips when we talk about goals? You guys all know the acronym, right? The what is it? Simple or something like keep
Keep
your
it
goals.
simple, stupid.
Yeah, like specific smart goals,
Yeah.
specific, measurable, attainable, retreatable, recordable, something, and timely, some crap like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people say, I want to sell 30 cars a month, right? But
yeah.
but then they don't have any way to get the 30 cars a month. And so they miss it in January and they get all frustrated.
Hmm.
Um, and then it just goes away. If you want a real goal to work and to stick, set the goal, set the ways you're going to get to that goal, and just make sure you're following through every day to get there, and then you'll be okay.
Yeah, and that's part of writing it down, making it specific, putting a timeline on it, and being realistic. For me, let's jump right into it. Business goals, right? My business goal, we want to get to 50 cars a month consistently. 25 buy here, pay here, 25 cash. That was our goal last year. We didn't get there. But we have it on our management goal sheet. So I have
Hmm.
a Google Doc. We talk about our Monday morning meeting. I've got all my KPIs on there, but I've got another tab on that same doc that has our business goals. And I talk about two or three specific goals that we set up as a team. One of them was to increase our sales, right? We would look at that every single Monday and I would update it every month to say, hey, here's where we're at. Are we getting closer? What are we missing? How do we get to this 50 goal a month goal? But it would constantly be in our face and we'd constantly be looking at it. And again, we reached it maybe 2 months out of the 12, but we didn't reach it 12 for 12. So I'm going to repeat that again in 2026 as a goal.
Well, Jeff, can I ask you, did you set a lead goal so you could get there?
Not a lead goal. I feel like I set some steps like, all right, to get to 50 cars, we need to consistently have 75 in inventory, available in inventory, right?
Okay,
Um,
that's one piece of the puzzle.
yeah, and so there's some smaller steps and looking at leads, having enough salesmen to cover that, right?
Yep.
50 goals, I need 3 to 4 salesmen probably
Yep.
on a four.
You
Yeah.
probably, I mean, honestly, you probably need four, right?
I don't know, that's questionable, but I have 4. So we've gotten
Okay.
there. So we've taken some steps to get there, and we don't need to get bogged down in too many of those details, but that's what I've done to make sure it stays front and center.
Hey guys, just to jump in and talk about Buckeye Risk Services. They've been one of our sponsors forever. They're great to the industry. They're one of your sponsors. You don't even know it. Every time you go to a convention or something like that, they're there helping out. Isn't that right, Jeff?
Yeah, absolutely. I have not seen a company so willing to get behind the dealers from an education, from a support standpoint. I mean, there's a handful that we see in our sphere that are very active and always have our back, but Buckeye really sets the standard. So when you're looking for a reinsurance company, if you've decided it's time to get into it, you've got to call the guys and girls over at Buckeye. I promise you will not regret it.
Yep. Reinsurance, forced savings account, wealth building, tax planning, all these things go together. So call Buckeye.
Well, what do you
Yeah.
got, Luke? Anything business goals you're setting for 2026?
Yeah. It's different for me now, right? And so with the consulting company, we have some goals. We're going to have our plan. Our goal is to have 3 offsite boot camps like we did in Dallas here in December. So those are our goals, 3 of those. And then also a goal is to develop more uh, consulting with dealers, right? To getting more dealers faces in their offices and to help them. And so
Mhm.
last year, uh, we were thinking 1 a month, right? And so this year we're thinking I can do 2 to 3 a month, and we actually got it, starting to set up like that. So I think that is a big goal for me, and also with private lending. Last year I was trying to figure out how does private lending work, and it took me what's crazy. It took me maybe uh, let's call it 6 months to figure out how it works. And then I said, okay, well, the next process is to get in front of the people in town that need money. So I did that for the next 3 months. And then before you know it, I've got people calling me all the time wanting us to lend. So
Mhm.
it's we're going to increase that. We've got a goal of getting about $10 million in the street in less than 5 years. So that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're working for.
I like that. And when we talk about business goals, Luke, you've got your dealership, Luke's got his consulting company, you also have other areas in your life. Sometimes you look at it almost, I sometimes treat our household like a business, which my wife
Yeah.
obviously hates. But but if you look at that and you say, okay, maybe what's our family business goals as financially speaking? What do we hope to get to? What do we hope to be at the end of the year as far as maybe saving or invested or
Yeah.
get debt? So there's a lot that can wrap into that. We think about our podcast, Luke. We got a goal here in 2026 to up the quality of content, the quality of guests.
Yeah.
It's something that we need to put in writing. We've talked about it quite a few times, but get that in writing and say, okay, what are our steps to getting there? And when do we know when we've actually attained it?
Yeah, what's funny is we set out for this not to be a business, to be more of a fun and to share. But you know as well as I do that only can go for so far. Then it kind of has to morph into a business, and and we're learning more and more about being a business as a podcast. And it's definitely something we should be writing our goals down
Hey,
for.
real quick break to make sure you guys know about Blitz Pay. It's who I use to take all the payments at my Buy Here, Pay Here dealership. We've been with them for almost 3 years now, and it is absolutely amazing. It's great.
Yeah, the product is so simple, even an idiot like me can use it. But when my collector's out and I'm just taking a phone call here or there, no matter where I am, I can log into Blitz Pay and I can take that payment. I can see the customers texting in and say, "Hey, can you run this?" or whatever's going on. It's always on top of it, and the money's in the bank almost the next day, and that is to me so important.
And the support is great. If we do have a chargeback or a dispute, we get an email that says, hey, there was this dispute, and then their team goes to work to help us resolve it. They don't just dump it back on your table with some random notification or email that you barely ever see, like my previous processors.
Yeah, that it's so helpful. And a lot of times it's because our our customers did something wrong. But when it's not, they'll fight to the end with you and get that money back in your account.
Yeah. So give them a call. The guys and girls over at BlitzPay, great partner to have. Definitely an essential tool to have if you're a buy here, pay here dealer. Okay. So let's transition over to area 2, which is for me correlates with this, and that's our physical goal, right? We're all a bunch of old lazy men who sit behind desks. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm
Speak for
45 this
yourself,
year.
there, buddy.
Yeah, I have felt it more this year. Physical, like just being roughed up. And so, last year I took a goal to kind of understand the metrics inside my body, the markers. So I take the blood tests every 6 months. I go into the doctor to see where I'm deficient. I'm taking all the supplements. I'm trying to make sure that if I've got anything out of whack inside my body, I could kind of get that tackled now and not be surprised, when I turn 60 or 65 with a whatever.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've
We
always
as
been,
dealers, I'm going to wrap this up. We as dealers neglect our
yeah.
physical bodies. I think the majority of us, I would say.
I I think it's because we work ourselves to death, right? We're
Yes.
stressed a lot. We and honestly, if our body fails, we're done.
Yeah.
Right?
What else you
And
got?
so, what else do we have? So you do need to put that front and center in your life because you can't be overweight, you can't drink too much. It's all these things that attribute to high stress and bad health. But physically, set those goals. Go run a 5K. I mean, how about Bill from Buckeye, man? That joker, he's a few years older than me, and he just did an Ironman in Arizona, and I texted him the other day. I said, "Hey, Bill, what what's your next race?" And he's like, "Ironman Jacksonville." I'm like, "Man, you've lost your mind."
Yeah.
I've
I,
done Ironman
I,
before, and I know what it takes. And good gracious, I don't want to do it at my age.
I would love to be able to do some stuff, but it is interesting, Luke, when you talk about us being in dealerships and being in sales, is there's always something to be done. There's always something to be done. It
Always,
never
always.
ends because we're in sales. There's always someone to help. There's always a car to buy. There's always a new deal to find, an auction to attend. And what happens is we work so hard making money, we're not even healthy enough to enjoy the money once we make it.
Yeah.
There's examples. We know dealers and some recently that we've had on the podcast years ago, and some spouses or widows that we've had on recently where their husbands worked so hard
But
and never got the opportunity to enjoy the money.
yeah, and you don't ever want to be in that situation. And sometimes you don't know. But the best way to live long is to be physically healthy.
Mhm.
And number one is get off your butt and do something. So run a 5K, start swimming, get a buy a Peloton and go 30 minutes 3 times a week, right? All these things are attainable. You can put your Peloton in your office and hop on it, buy cars. I don't know, do something
Yeah,
that keeps you active. Play more golf, play pickleball. I know you love pickleball, Jeff.
there you go, buddy. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to get better at pickleball, but yeah, just don't play enough.
When you
Trying to
get
get
there,
better
let
at
me know.
golf.
Yeah, I got it. Well, I've got those two goals. Pickleball and golf are both on my top of the list this year as sports that I'm going to play into old age. So
Yeah,
cool. Mountain biking, no, thank you. Snow skiing, yeah. Water
yeah,
skiing, meh.
yeah,
But some of these you're going to do a really long time. And so I'm trying to get some more specific with my schedule. And that's what
yeah.
I would recommend to dealers is get intentional with your calendar because
That's right.
I know that when I put it on my calendar, it happens. So whether that's I'm not going to come into work till 10 o'clock on Tuesday, Wednesday because I've got a league that I'm going to attend, or I'm going to go to the gym every morning and come in an hour later to work, and it's going to be fine. We're going to
Yeah,
rearrange the schedules. We're going to rearrange the meetings. These guys don't need me here till 10 o'clock. In fact, they probably don't need me here at all. But I'm going to put my health first and then the dealership second, right? All of us have it backwards. I can't tell you how many mornings I get a slow start and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to skip the gym because I got to go. I got to be into
yeah.
work. No, no.
That is definitely something. I'm an early morning gym guy. Um, I know there's a bunch of dealers. If you go to conventions, you'll see them down the gym, and that's such a great habit to get into. I'm there at 5:45. I'm at home about 6:40, 6:45 when my daughter's just getting awake to go to school. So I don't miss any family. I don't miss any business. I'm there. I get it done. Now at 8:45 at night, I want to get in bed, but But again, I'm getting great sleep, and that physically that is good for you. Don't burn your candle at both ends because you will burn out.
Yes, absolutely. And that makes it much harder to be better at work, you
Yeah,
know.
for sure.
So um I think that's all I want to touch on the physical side. You got yourself a little Aura ring though too. I want
I
to talk about
do.
that. Sometimes the technology is helpful, when you
Yeah.
get these little devices and tools, whether they're Fitbits or Aura rings or your
Whoops
iWatch.
or yeah.
Yeah, and you get on Strava and you start tracking your running and your this and that compared to your friends and family and everything. Those are kind of the fun things. And I talk about this all the time with my guys and even my wife is like the reason we work so hard is to make money, and then we need to use that money to improve our lifestyle
Yeah.
and our health. So a regular chiropractic visit, maybe regular massages, get the ice bath, get the sauna, get the stupid mattress cover that tracks all your sleep and tells you what the freak's going on. Like I'm taking those steps because it's important to me. Like, what's the point of having, you know, anything in the
Yeah.
bank account if you're
If you can't
physically broke?
enjoy it. That's right.
So, hey guys, real quick to break in and make sure you know about TaxMax. We are right in the middle of the first quarter program, guys. W-2s are going to start hitting the ground, so you need to be signed up with TaxMax if you aren't already.
Jeff, they said that taxes are going to be huge,
Huge.
huge. And even, I mean, I was listening today, the Secretary of the Treasury was like, they're going to be gigantic because nobody turned off their withholding. So anyway, they're going to be huge. They start today, like
Mhm.
January 1, they're going to be rolling out here in the next day or two. W-2s are going to be coming. File and drive, get it done. So easy. One chance of this tax season, buddy. Got to
Yeah, they
get that
say
money.
up to $7,500 or more is going to be the average refund, and you can actually get the refund advance right now. So that's a crucial part for the retail dealers. I know a lot of guys tune out of TaxMax because they think it's a buy here, pay here program. But in Q1, when you file their taxes with their W-2 in hand, you can get up to $7,500 in a non-recourse refund
Dude,
advance. So that's right away. You print the check, you put the money in your bank that day. You don't got to wait for the
that's
refund to get funded.
that's big for buy here, pay here. It's big for CAC dealers. It's big for retail dealers. It's big for everybody. Make it happen.
This leads us to the fourth area, which is social. Now, I
Huh.
think those add on to each other. A lot of us as dealers, we work so much, we don't have time to physically take care of ourselves. And we work so much, we don't have time to socially take care of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
What do you do or what goals do you have for 2026 to improve your social well-being?
Um, I'm a social butterfly, Jeff. I really
You're
like to be
definitely a
around
butterfly.
people. I really like to be around people. I think I was listening to a podcast probably 6 months ago, and this guy, he goes to my church. He was on this podcast, and he was talking about one of the things he did when he was starting his business years ago, and that was uh, every day he went to lunch with someone different. Now,
Ah,
you want to talk about increasing your social web, man?
mm,
He just talked about how it really just started bringing him in. So this year, I started a little bit last year, but this year I want to be very deliberate about going to lunch with different people. And it's taking the time out of my day, uh, turning my phone off on silent. Nobody bothers me. Go sit down, have a one-on-one with another guy and another girl, another guy and girl, and see what they see what they do,
don't be going to
Jeff.
lunch with any girls, Luke.
Well, no, not without my wife, that's for sure.
Okay.
But developing those relationships and those business developments, relationships, it really helped me with hard money lending, Jeff. Like,
Mm,
uh,
networking. Just
networking's
yeah.
big, and next thing you know, you have lunch with the right attorney who's closing all these real estate deals, or you're having it with a contractor that's doing this. Next thing you know, your web just goes. And when that
Yep.
happens, it's pretty great. So whatever interest you have, maybe we'll talk about spiritual in a minute. Maybe it's going to lunch with your pastor or your Sunday school teacher, um, or someone that you kind of know but you want to get to know better, or maybe it's another dealer in town,
Yeah.
or another finance company in town, whatever it is, or banker. I think it's
Yeah.
really socially, I think it's good for your business and good for you because you can kind of
Yeah.
turn everything off.
Absolutely. There's the book called Never Eat Alone, right? And then that's the whole
Huh.
premise of it is I literally have lunch Monday through Friday out at 12 o'clock every day. Normally I'm going with guys from here. It's normally me, George, Adrian. We go out 2 or 3 times a week. It's like quite ridiculous the amount I eat out. It would be very easy and take little effort for me to start scheduling those with, guys in my social scene or guys that I want to, hey man, let's meet up. But it takes planning. And I have a buddy also who's very good at that. If I try to get a lunch with him, he's scheduled 2 weeks out. His lunches every single day, he's scheduled 2 weeks out. So that's something I could do very easily is, sit down on a Sunday night and try to schedule out my whole week of lunches just by texting contacts that I know.
Yep.
Very easy to do, very smart. Pretty sure well, I guess it's travel and entertainment. So is it tax deductible?
It should be at least half of it anyway. It kind of depends on it kind of depends on who you eat with because sometimes you could actually be doing a business transaction while you're eating, so you can write 100% of that off. But
Beautiful.
yeah, yeah, golfing too, Jeff, is very social. Pickleball is very social,
There you go. Yeah, join a
and so
club, join an indoor club, join a men's league. I'm in a men's, well, not a men's, but it's a professional business owners association called the Caddy Group. And we basically
yeah,
have golf around raising money for charities. And we use golf as the excuse. We do a business referral type thing. I don't know if you guys call them BNIs out there.
yeah,
So
BNI, yep,
similar to that, but less salesy, less, shystery.
yeah.
It's a little more like we're here to just raise money for charities. But
Leads group, that's what they're called. Whatever. Yeah,
yeah, but this one's great because it just puts me in a group of, 49 other guys, and we have a great opportunity to go out and golf, be in tournaments, raise money for charities. So I definitely say with that, reach out and try to find those, maybe they're just men's leagues. Maybe they're,
yeah.
groups, Facebook groups to get together and run or play
Yeah.
racquetball or whatever it is.
And also socially, bring your wife in, right? Make sure you're going to dinner with uh, with different couples around town, right? Different couples from your church, different couples in business, because sometimes some of you may have enough friends, and some of you may not. Uh, but there's always room to engage more than what we currently are engaging. That will lead to better things.
Yeah. And I want to put a pin in this before we move on, but when you say all that stuff to me, the first thing I think of, and I know other guys think of, is, yeah, I should, but put it on your calendar. That again, I come back to that. Lunch with your spouse. Hey,
Oh
sweetie,
yeah,
we're gonna go to lunch every single Wednesday at noon. Okay. Put it in your calendar, plan on it. It's non-negotiable, non-movable. Very extreme situations, can we cancel it? You know,
yeah,
same area. I hate date night. We're gonna do date night. And the third Friday of every month, we're going to get 2 other couples from our neighborhood or our church to come with us, right?
yeah.
And simple, we're going to go to dinner and we're going to go bowling. Like very, very easy stuff we can do as long as we put it on the calendar and then we follow through and make sure that everyone knows this isn't just a suggestion. This is on the calendar. It's happening.
Yeah, some people try to put too much on the calendar, um, and then they fail. So if you can only have one day of lunch, one day out of a week for lunch, try that. Start with that, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Small steps. And I love that idea of having, lunch with your wife once a week. It's a very good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to be better at that. We go through phases. Again, I go through phases. We got date night every Friday night on the calendar. Is it going to happen? It's hit and miss. A lot of things take precedence, and that's something that when those do start to be farther and farther apart, I can tell that we start getting more and more distant, right? So it's definitely good, even for your relationship, your spouse, your significant other, whoever you happen to be dating at the time, Luke's
Yeah.
mistress, whatever.
Yeah.
Guys, real quick to jump in and make sure you know about a new exciting sponsor here, a supporter of the podcast and a supporter of all independent activities, to be honest with you, Iteron GPS.
Iteron GPS, they have really, really great products. I've used them before. They're wonderful. They don't break if you install them right? All that good stuff. But like you said, a big sponsor of the industry with Buy Here, Pay Here United, and they're at every conference, Jeff. So make sure you're using the best possible GPS on the market, and that's Iteron.
Yep. Give them a call. Go to our website for more information. So
Uh,
let's transition to the last one. Spiritual. So you talked about it a little bit before, but obviously this is kind of what grounds us into everything, keeps us sane, whatever that is for you. Of course, like we're not telling you who to be or what to be, but having some sort of connection, or you could even call this the inner peace. If you want to go meditate or climb a tree or hug a rock or something, that works too. Because I'll be honest, man, sometimes like Luke, you came out here hiking the other day.
it's
I'll
so
be
great.
honest, man. Sometimes I'm just hiking on an empty trail out there in the middle of nowhere with just trees and rocks and a couple
Very
of
spiritual.
friends. And it
Yeah.
is like a pretty calming and just like
Yeah.
very humbling experience to just look at the vastness of the earth and the creation. And we are just these little specks of dust.
Hmm.
Really, really cool. But of course, there's also the bigger stuff, like actually being involved with a church or a spiritual connection, formally.
Yeah. I think one of the greatest things I did was probably four, shoot, almost 5 years ago now was um, get involved with a weekly Bible study, and it's 12 men, right?
Mm.
And we go through the Bible from beginning to end. And we've been doing that. This is our second time through, but it is the most rewarding thing that I've ever done, or truly in my life. It's developed me as a human being and made me a better father, made me a better husband, made me a better business person. And so I encourage somebody out there that has not done something like that to do it, because it'll be worth every ounce of energy that you put into it.
Yeah. Yeah. To find and you'd say what that is you're taking a specific period of time. And I think you do it around noon on Wednesdays or something, whatever your
Yep.
schedule is.
Wednesday, 12:30. Yep.
We have a shared calendar now, Luke and I. Uh, uh, so you're just setting aside that time to be intentional about it and to
Yeah.
focus on it specifically. So whether that's a morning for you and you're going to go out and meditate and stare at the sun, or whether you're going to pull out, the scriptures and study, or the Quran, or I don't know what Buddhists use. What is that? I don't know.
No,
Meditation thing. Um, Getting into that and being intentional about it. And you did a great one because you're doing it with 12 other people. And I want to talk about that because what that does is it creates an accountability.
no. Oh
And
yeah.
so that's what's really important when we talk about all these goals is when you share them with people and when you include other people in those goals, it's going to create an accountability. Because look, if you didn't show up to Bible study a week or two, you are getting a phone call. I guarantee you that.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I do that to people all the time. Where you been? That's like, did you drop out of Bible study? And of course, I'm giving people heck, but I mean,
Mhm.
it's something for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's peer pressure, peer accountability, similar to why we
Hmm.
have 20 groups in the industry, right? We have
That's
that
right.
peer accountability. Um, and another way to do it is also to add like incentive bundling. I know a lot of times you'll say, hey, if I accomplish this goal or if I do this, then I get to do this, you know? And so, dealers, you guys can tie those types of things to your goals. So if it is, hey, I'm going to attend church weekly, and when I do, my wife has agreed that I can check out for 2 hours and go fishing, right? Like
Or play
whatever that
golf for four
is,
hours.
yeah, 4 hours, go golf for the rest of the day, Well, whatever those things are, when you tie those incentives to, I'm going to run a mile, which means, I get to have a milkshake that night, whatever the case may be.
That doesn't equal, by the way, out there, that doesn't equal.
For some, running a full mile might actually burn that many calories. Uh, but those incentive bundling they talk about is a great one. Hey, I'm going to be on the Peloton. That's when I watch my Netflix series.
Yeah.
I got to be on the Peloton to watch Netflix. That's just the way it works. Those types of things.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I've never thought about it that way, but I do like that. You know, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm kind of very focused.
Mm.
But some people need things, and so I have this internal accountability that if I
Hmm.
don't do it, then I'll just beat myself up. And I, I'm probably the worst at things like that.
Hmm. My issue is out of sight, out of mind. So
Yeah. Yeah.
when I get into something new, if I don't create a system so that it is continually in front of my face and reminding me, then it can very easily just kind of go by the wayside and get taken over by some other shiny object that hopped up in front of me, right? So if I have those things, again, it's got to be on my mirror. It's got to be something that's obviously in my face, a reminder at night before I go to bed, in the calendar, the social events that I'm just not going to miss. So that
Yeah.
helps me a lot, because creating those habits, it becomes hard. And those
I
people that
will,
say they can't function unless they go to the gym in the morning, that like runner's high and the gym high, I don't get that. I don't understand it. Every minute at the gym is freaking miserable. I don't
uh,
enjoy it. So it's just
that's funny.
that doesn't do it for me. A lot of people get that intrinsic rush by doing those
Yeah.
things. Not my
Yeah.
bag. So find other
I do
ways.
like the idea, Jeff, and you've said this a couple of times about write it on your mirror. And I encourage, if you don't have a whiteboard in your office, you should get one, or multiple glass boards or whiteboards. I use them all the time, and it's write your goals up there, and
Mhm.
write how you're going to get to those goals so you see them every day. They cannot be out of sight. Reminders on your phone. I use that so much, and I just started doing that. Maybe it's just because I'm getting old and I forget everything. But having those reminders, I have monthly reminders on reports that I need to do, and daily reminders on certain things. So use all this technology we have to help you along the way with these goals, because they will help. Um, or or you could hire a consultant. I know a good one, and he could hold you accountable to make sure you hit your goals too.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the idea of having, to wrap this back around to the business goals and in your dealership, making sure that those goals are written out, because I think sometimes as dealers and even as management teams, we set them, but we don't
Oh
communicate
yeah,
to the rest of the
yeah.
team. Right.
You should
So
have a
having,
meeting to communicate those.
yeah, putting it on a wall, putting it on the whiteboard and saying, this is our goals for the month, for the week, for the day. Um, we are all accountable to achieve it. We all bought into this. We all know we're going to get to 50 cars this month. How are we going to do it? Well, let's break it down. That means 10, 12 sales a week. That means X amount a day. That means so many phone calls, so many applications. Like, it's all there. So if we break down the steps to the outcome we want and we just follow the steps, it will lead us there.
Yeah, I like it. Let's
Cool.
go. Let's go. Let's go get it in 2026, buddy.
Let's do it, man. Happy New Year to you, Luke.
Yeah, you
I'm
too.
sure we'll see you. Our 2026 is going to be full of conventions.
Yes.
Apparently some trainings.
Some trainings. Yes, we have several of those.
Luke's got some trainings to put on his 2026 schedule. And
Mm.
and I think we're going to do a follow-up episode on your dealership, because we don't hear a lot about that. And it's been a year out since you've taken the wind down. So stay tuned. Probably in the next couple weeks, we're going to get a real in-depth dive update on how Godwin Motors is doing.
Yeah, can't wait. That's going to be a fun episode.
All right, buddy. Talk to you later.
See you.